We have covered the Anunakis family, started with Enlil and his children, Enlil's grandchildren, except in Belilu, I don't know the name. I cannot find data about that particular deity, so let's go to the children of Enki. Okay, starting with Dumuzid, or Damuzid, or Dumuzid, I don't know, Damuzid, I don't know. Not to be confused with Dumuzid the fisherman. Tammuz redirects here. For other use, see Tammuz. Tammuz also was referred to this deity, which they call there's some people there who fights over religion. They too are religions and they fight over the other religion group. So I found this video here that talks about this particular deity. Tammuz is a male who is the father of transsexualism, who make up all this story of transsexualism, which I found very contrary to Islam, and they kind of they associate with Islam, but I don't think that the two goes together. See, so I found this video here. It has nothing, it's not my material. I find it online, okay, and it criticizes other religion. I don't know, and is allowed for purpose of criticism and new reporting. Many ask, you can show us any good, this is my mission. Why would someone who follows a religion criticize another religion? I mean, in order for me to try to be different, I need to step in the middle. I cannot take sides and at the same time I criticize another party. To me it is a hypocrisy, it's hypocrisy. How come? Why, if you follow a religion, you want to criticize another? I think exactly because you follow a religion that you fight for another sect of other religion. It's a shame to me. So much zealotry in the ignoring sea. To me, all religions and dogmas are all about the same. No wonder we agnostics and atheists are criticized. Archaeologists discover and identify Allah by name with the story of Lucifer and the mother of harlots. Lucifer is nothing but Enki. Enki is Lucifer. Okay. Scientists in Turkey uncovered cuneiform tablets upon which was written the story of Allah. 2000 BC, show the epic of Atrahasis, revealing that the ancient goddess known as Ishtar, the high Shit, goddess of war. Ishtar is the daughter of Lucifer, Enki. Fertility and sexuality, Ishtar was the queen of harlots, the mother of harlots, and the snake beast god known as Slash. Tehran is another name for Allah, is actually mentioned in the epic. I name it as Allah. Who is tell this is a black lady? Okay, is a Christian black lady. Both male and female natures. The same both male and female nature. Now I have to stop right here for a moment to remind America of its growing sexual identity. I think that they should stop picking on the transsexual whatever. the LGBT group, because we have much more important thing to solve and try to correct in this world, other than people's sexual preference. I think we should leave this group, whether you call it satanic, demonic, leave them alone. I don't think that they are harming nobody. It's your prejudice that are harming yourself, and not this group per se. If you think that these people are defiling morality, and posing a risk to society, models of what it is correct or incorrect, then your prejudices is even worse than this, than what they are doing. Is much worse. Your prejudices is much worse, and your lack of tolerance toward this group is much worse than what they try to express. I don't see why they have to pick up on the LGBT people. I have neighbors who are transgender girls. They were born girl and then become a boy. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I don't go about stop talking with them because they become a boy, or if you are a boy become a girl. I don't have a problem. I continue respect them, even as they change their name. They change name from feminine to masculine or vice versa. It's their choice, it's their free will. I don't understand how our people talk so much about religion, but they try to forfeit the free will of the people on earth. And now we learn that the original transsexual demonic deity was no other than Allah, and you should. I think that is a neurosis, it's a kind of obsession. Houses is the Mesopotamian account of the Great Flood. I don't care about what the people being, whether they want to become a girl, if a man want to become a girl want to become a boy. I don't care. It's not my business. Even if my children is to become like this, so I will accept it and respect their choice. And the literally spirit of God. We rather take care of our own morality, our own life, than care about other people's choices. We're gonna talk about the rapists, the pedophiles. Those are the ones who pose a risk to society, to children. Go talk about the zoophilians, and not incest people, and not these people. So they say it's on Tammuz. Okay. What? Now Allah become Ishtar. Oh, great. If Allah is Ishtar, then I start to pray for her tomorrow. I rather pray for her than pray for Jesus. Anyway, Jesus is could be Dumuzid. He could be the son of Enki, nevertheless, and he is an Anunaki, and he could be Ashita's brother. What a hypocrisy. Great ignorance with hypocrisy. Lucifer could be Enki. These are all, this is all propaganda in politics to talk about this nonsense war, religions war, and now they are demonizing people on the streets. They are demonizing the LGBT group like If the LGBT group were a criminal, they are not a criminal. And if they are sinner, you are as a sinner as they are. As for me, I don't have to do what I do not condemn. I do not condemn the homosexuals. And I don't have to be one. Neither I like men. I don't like men. I don't like women. I'd rather be asexual. I don't believe, dude. I don't believe. If she's Shita, then she's Jesus' sister. Nevertheless, Jesus is Marduk. Planet Adventist, I still that in symbology. One day you see that I'm right. See, I knew it long time ago. Since 2013, to be precise. Wait a minute. Did I already talk about Ishita? Or is she the daughter of Enki, not in Leo? She's in Leo niece. I don't think that these people is pro-homosexualism. Oh, come on, come on. They are the first one who demonize and condemn the homosexual people in the first place. So what's your point? So you should take care of ourselves. Stop condemning other people. Stop criticizing other people. You understand? If you have religion, you shouldn't throw the first stone, because your house is made of glass and jewel. Why should you throw stone at other people? Why? If you think you are better, why you throw stone? Don't throw the first stone. If you follow a religion, do like I can't do that. Why? Because I am not a religious person. I don't follow any dogmas. I don't follow any rituals. I have been there, been to religions, but now I think better. I'm free. Since 1999, I'm free. I'm very grateful to be free. And when I say free, I don't mean that I go about do as I please. No, I still know my boundaries. Okay, I'm free that I don't have to follow all this ritual, praying for Anunakis, and observe rituals, the religion dogmas and the rites. I don't have to, because everything is inside my heart. I know who I am, and that's enough for me. I do good to others, to the animals. That's suffice. It's enough for me. I have enough of you, have enough of you. Go and clean your backyard before you throw stone at other people. Dumuzid also is seen as this being, which I believe it. One of his avatar is like that. He's also like this for the Mesopotamian. He look like a North African guy. And then here for the Greek, he wants Greek, the Hellenines, he wants Adonis, Adonai. Let's see. Dumuzid, not to be confused with Dumuzid, the fisherman Tammuz. Tammuz is also referred to as Dumuzid, or some confuse with Ishita, but they are all Enki, Lucifer children, god of shepherds and fertility. A giant Sumerian depiction of the marriage of Inanna and Dumuzid. And when I do these materials, be clear, be informed that I don't take sides. I don't want to take sides. I'm neither A, neither am I C. I am B. I stay always on the middle. Okay, I don't like to take sides. So abode, heaven, for half the year cool, for the other half means I'm neutral. Personal information, parents, Enki, Enkai, and the two siblings, Geshtina, sister, Amashilama, not Julie, but in some texts say to be his sister, consort, Inanna, later known as Ishtar. Huh? Wait a minute. I thought that Ishtar was Enki's sister. So that means he have a case with his own sister, is it? Yeah, because they commit incest to keep the lineage. So Greek equivalent Adonis, East Semitic equivalent Tammuz, which the girl Ishtar. Levantine equivalent Tammuz Adonis. So Dumuzid or Tammuz, Sumerian Romanized, Dumuzid Akkadian, Duzu Hebrew, known to the Sumerians Dumuzid the shepherd. An ancient Mesopotamian god associated with shepherds was also the first and primary consort of the goddess Inanna, later known as Ishtar. In Sumerian mythology, Dumuzid's sister was Geshtinana, Ishtar, the goddess of agriculture, fertility, and dream interpreters, but Ishtar is associated with sexuality and Venus, romance, etc. and lust. The Sumerian king list, Dumuzid is listed as an antediluvian king of the seat of Badtibira and also an early king of the seat of Uruk. And Inanna's descent into the underworld, Inanna perceives that Dumuzid has failed to properly mourn her death, and when she returns from the underworld, allows the Gala, oh my god, the Gala demons to drag him down to the underworld as her replacement. Inanna later regrets, I'm gonna look for this Gala. Oh brother, are they terrible, horrible, ugly beings? This is the Gulu or something like this, Gala Gulu. So she brings these demons to bring him down, to drag him down to the underworld as her replacement. Inanna later regrets this decision and decrees that Dumuzid will spend half the year in the underworld, but the other half of the year with her, while his sister Geshtinana stays in the underworld in his place, thus resulting in the cycle of the seasons. In the Sumerian poem, Inanna prefers the farmer Dumuzid, competes against the farmer Enkimudu. Could it be his father Enki? For Inanna's hand in marriage. Gilgamesh, but cannot, because Inanna is his sister. His Enki daughters and this demon here, sister anyways. Gilgamesh refers to Tammuz tablet 6 of the Epic of Gilgamesh as the love of Ishtar's youth was turned in Alalu bird into an Alalu bird with a broken wing. Alalu bird, Alalu, Dumuzid was associated with fertility and vegetation and the hot, oh my god, get far away from me with your feet, dry summers of Mesopotamia were believed to be caused by Dumuzid's yearly death. During the month and midsummer bearing his name, people all across Mesopotamia would engage in public ritual mourning for him. The cult of Dumuzid later spread to the Levant and to Greece, where he became known under the West Semitic name Adonis. And most of the Greek you see today, they are not quite Greek, they are part Arabic. Okay, because the Arabic, the Semitic people went to Greece, so they mix up with they kind of override all the original Greek people, the true Hellenic. So this one we see now, they are not quite Greek. That guy who died, he's a singer. What's his name? From the song Careless Whisper, George Michael, I don't know what name. He is not quite a Greek. He's a mixed guy. If North African, he's not a Greek guy. A Greek people would be totally different. I will try to find out who the original Greek looks like. We have here the Ashanti Hellenian people, and what they call it, not wax, is a cast, something like that. And they don't quite look like the actual one which comes from North Africa or Middle East. Not all of them looks like the Arabic like we see today. So Greek was pretty much part of the Roman. Okay, they are also Latin. Quite the race profile was quite similar, but because of the admixture of the Middle East, they become quite different, shorty, beardy, hairy, darker. Then we have this one, the brown one is Indian, from India, because Alexander the Great went to India. They went to the Middle East, and then they mixed. These people here are all Middle Easterner. They are not quite Greek. Those are Middle Easterner. This one could be, some look like Germanic, because the Germans also went there. Could be half Germanic. The king, the Queen Elizabeth II husband also is a Greek. If I don't make a mistake, he's partly Germanic. This man, he is not quite Greek. He's from South Asia or Middle Eastern. So it's very difficult to find a real Greek nowadays. They are all mixed. Okay, this woman here also is quite North African. Usually their profile is very fair skin, the true one, which is very hard, very rare to find nowadays. They have dark hair to brown hair, light eyes to brown eyes, and a very light skin people. They are not like this one you see here. This is not Greek at all. Those are all mixed people from elsewhere, whose ancestrals from other people, but they embraced the culture because they have an image that Greeks and Romans are dark. No, the new one, maybe not the long time ago ones. So yeah, this guy here is Greek. This one a bit mixed Greek. They usually have fair skin and dark hair, dark eyes, but they are not very dark skinned like this Greek. Like this guy here. In fact, the language, the Russian language, has much to do, is much more closer to Greek than some people who pass up on the Greek. They are not quite Greek. They are Greek national, but not in genetically speaking. Thus, the cult of Ishtar and Tammuz continued to thrive until the 11th century AD and survived in parts of Mesopotamia as late as the 18th century. Tammuz is mentioned by name in the book of Ezekiel and possibly alluded to in other passages from the Hebrew Bible. In late 19th and 20th century scholarship of religion, Tammuz was widely seen as a prime example of the archetypal dying and rising god, but the discovery of the full Sumerian text of Enki's descent in the mid-20th century appeared to disprove the previous scholarly assumption that the narrative ended with Dumuzid's resurrection and instead revealed that it ended with Dumuzid's death. However, the rescue of Dumuzid from the underworld was later found in the text Return of Dumuzid, translated in 1963. The Assyriologists Jeremy Black and Anthony Green, why they have to have the surname of color, describe the early history of Dumuzid's cult as complex and bewildering. According to the Sumerian king list, Dumuzid was the 50th antediluvian king of the city of Bad Tibira. Dumuzid was also listed as an early king of Uruk, where he was said to have come from the nearby village of Quara and to have been the consort of the goddess Inanna. As Dumuzid Sipar, Dumuzid the shepherd, Dumuzid was believed to be the provider of milk, which was a rare seasonal commodity and a giant summa due to the fact that it could not easily be stored without spoiling. Plant-growing deity. In addition to being the god of shepherds, Dumuzid was also an agricultural deity associated with the growth of plants. Ancient Near Eastern peoples associated Dumuzid with the springtime when the land was fertile and abundant. But during the summer months when the land was dry and barren, it was thought that Dumuzid had died. This is already one kind of analogy. This is a metaphor. During the month of Dumuzid, which fell in the middle of summer, people all across summer would mourn over his death. This seems to have been the primary aspect of his cult. In Lagash, the month of Dumuzid was the 60th month of the year. This month and the holiday associated with it was later transmitted from the Sumerians to Babylonians and other East Semitic peoples, with its name transcribed into the languages as Tammuz, a ritual associated with the Ekur temple and Nippur, equates Dumuzid with the snake god Istaran, who in that ritual is described as having died. Snake god, hey? Here is the snake's god, Istaran. Ooh, that is scary. So, who and their ritual is described until he died. Dumuzid was identified with the god Ama Uzumgal Anna, Amma Uzumgal Anna was originally a local god worshipped in the city of Lagash. In some texts, Amma Uzumgal Anna is described as a heroic warrior. As Amma Uzumgal Anna, Dumuzid is associated with the deity poem and its spirits. This aspect of Dumuzid cult was always joyful in character and had no associations with the darker stories involving his death. To ancient Mesopotamian peoples, the deity poem represented stability because it was one of the few crops that could be harvested all year, even during the dry season. In some Sumerian poems, Dumuzid is referred to as Maidamu, which means my son. This name is usually applied to him and his role as the personification of the power that causes the sap to rise in trees and plants. Tammuz, the name most closely associated with Dumuzid's return in autumn after the dry season has ended. This aspect of his cult emphasizes the fear and exhaustion of the community after surviving the devastating summer. Exchange via the nearest religions. Dumuzid had virtually no power outside of his distinct realm of responsibilities. Very few prayers addressed to him are extinct, and of those that are, almost all of them are simply requests for him to provide more milk, more grain, more cattle, etc. The sole exception to this rule is a single Assyrian inscription in which a man requests Tammuz that when he descends to the underworld, he should take with him a troublesome ghost who has been haunting him. The cult of Tammuz was particularly associated with humans, who were the ones responsible for mourning his death. The custom of planting miniature gardens with fast-growing plants such as lettuce and fennel, which would then be placed out in the hot sun to sprout before withering in the heat, was a well-attested custom in ancient Greece, associated with the festival of Adonia in honor of Adonis, the Greek versions of Tammuz. Fennel is very good for the stomach. It's cool down when you have too much heat or diarrhea. Take fennel tea, it's very good. Some scholars have argued based on references in the Hebrew Bible that this custom may have been a continuation of an earlier Oriental practice. The same woman who mourned the death of Tammuz also prepared cakes for his consort Ishtar, the queen of heaven. These cakes would be baked in ashes in several clay cake molds discovered at Mary, Syria, revealed that they were also at least sometimes shaped like naked human. Oh brother, now it gets kinky and spicy. Role in sacred marriage. According to the scholar Samuel Noah Kramer, towards the end of the 3rd millennium BC, kings of Uruk may have established their legitimacy by taking on the role of Dumuzid as part of a sacred marriage ceremony. This ritual lasted for one night on the 10th day of the Aktu, the Sumerian New Year festival, which was celebrated annually at the spring equinox. As part of the ritual, it was thought that the king would engage in ritualized sexual intercourse with the high priestess of Inanna, who took on the role of the goddess. In the late 20th century, the historicity of the sacred marriage ritual was treated by scholars as more or less an established fact. but in recent years, largely due to the rise of Peugeot Lampevici, some scholars have rejected the notion of actual sex ritual, instead seeing sacred marriage as a symbolic rather than a physical union. I don't think so. Nothing to do with marriage. Marriage is just an excuse. Marriage to Inanna. Original Sumer tablet. The poem Inanna prefers the farmer. Begins with a rather playful conversation between Inanna and her brother Uchu. Is it the name Uchu? I don't know. Who incrementally reveals to her that it is time for her to marry. Rather playful conversation between Nana and her brother Uchu. Who incrementally reveals to her that it's time for her to marry. Dumuzid comes to court her along with a farmer named Enki. At first, Nana prefers the farmer, but Uchu and Dumuzid gradually persuaded her that Dumuzid is the better choice for a husband, arguing that for every gift the farmer can give to her, the shepherd can give her something even better. In the end, Inanna marries Dumuzid. The shepherd and the farmer reconcile their differences, offering each other gifts. Samuel Noah Kramer compares the myth to the biblical story of Cain and Abel, because both accounts center out a farmer and a shepherd competing for divine favor, and in both stories the deity in question ultimately chooses the shepherd. A vast number of erotic love poems celebrating the consummation of Inanna and Dumuzid have survived. Two excerpts from a representative example are translated below. Ooh, that kink! So, English translation by Samuel Noah Kramer. What a nonsense. Giant Sumerian cylinder cell. Towards the end of the epic poem, Nana's descent into the underworld. Dumuzid's wife Nana escapes from the underworld but is pursued by a horde of Gala demons who insist that someone else must take her place in the underworld. Gala demons remind me of the Hantu Gala that I always see in the park. They first come upon Inanna's Sukal Ninshubu and attempt to take her, but Inanna stops them and insists that Ninshubu is her loyal servant and that she had rightfully mourned for her while she was in the underworld. They next come upon Shara, Inanna's beautician, who is still in mourning. The demons attempt to take him, but Inanna insists that they may not, because he had also mourned for her. The third person they come upon is Lulal, who is also in mourning. The demons try to take him, but Inanna stops them once again. Finally, they come upon Dumuzid, who is lavishly clothed and resting beneath a tree, or sitting on Inanna's throne, entertained by slave girls. Now you learn, you should know a long time ago that is slavery. It doesn't start in the West. This one's all a nonsense, ignorance, and it's on purpose. It was already done by design. So Inanna displeased decrees that the demons shall take him, using language which echoes the speech Ereshkigal gave while condemning her. The demons then drag Dumuzid down to the underworld. The Sumerian poem, The Dream of Dumuzid, begins with Dumuzid telling Geshitinana about a frightening dream she had experienced. Then the Gala demon, the Hantu Gala, arrived to drag Dumuzid down into the underworld as Inanna's replacement. Dumuzid flees and hides. The Gala demons brutally torture Geshitinana in an attempt to force her to tell them where Dumuzid is hiding. Gestinana, however, refuses to tell them where her brother has gone. The Gala demons go to Dumuzid's unnamed friend who betrays Dumuzid, telling the Gala exactly where Dumuzid is hiding. The Gala demons capture Dumuzid, but Uta, the god of the sun, who is also Inanna's brother, rescues Dumuzid by transforming him into a gazelle. Eventually, the Gala capture Dumuzid and drag him down into the underworld. In the Sumerian poem, The Return of Dumuzid, which begins where the dream of Dumuzid ends, Gestinana laments continually for days and nights over Dumuzid's death, joined by Inanna, who has apparently experienced a change of heart, and Surtu, Dumuzid's mother. The three goddesses mourn continually until a fly reveals to Inanna the location of her husband. Together, Inanna and Gestinana go to the place where the fly has told them they will find Dumuzid. They find him there, and Inanna decrees that from that point onwards, Dumuzid will spend half of the year with her sister Ereshkigal in the underworld, and the other half of the year in heaven with her, while Gestinana takes his place in the underworld. Oh my gosh. How cruel and stupid are these beings. Other texts describe different and contradictory accounts of Dumuzid's death. The text of the poem Inanna and Bilola, discovered at Nepal, is badly mutilated, and scholars have interpreted it in a number of different ways. The beginning of the poem is mostly destroyed, but seems to be a lament. The intelligible part of the poem describes Inanna pining after her husband Dumuzid, who is in the steppe watching his flocks. Inanna sets out to find him. It reminds me of this Egyptian fables who speak about the same thing, that somebody kills I don't know who husband, and then she find his bad piece in the Nile, and then she bring it all back together, and then he come to life again. After this, a large portion of the text is missing. When the story resumes, Inanna is told that Dumuzid has been murdered. Inanna discovers that the old bandit woman, hey, Bilulu is a male man, how come it's become a woman's son? What a lie. Woman Bilulu and her son Gargaya are responsible. She travels along the road and then Bilulu is Enlil's son, is a male. The woman is this Dumuzid cousin, and then Lila and stops at an inn where she finds the two murderers. Inanna stands on top of a stool, and I think she measures about 1 meter and 1.4 meter, and transforms Bilulu into the watery skin that men carry in the desert, forcing her to pour the funerary libations for Dumuzid. Dumuzid and Gestinana begins with demons, encouraging Inanna to conquer the underworld. Instead, she hands Dumuzid over to them. They put Dumuzid's feet, hands and neck in the stocks and torture him using hot pokers. They strip him naked, do evil to him, and cover his face with his own garment. Finally, Dumuzid prays to Utu for help. Utu transforms Dumuzid into a creature that is part eagle and part snake, allowing him to escape back to Gestinana. In the next known as the most bitter cry, Dumuzid is chased by the 7 evil devotees of the netherworld. Oh my. 7 evil devotees of the netherworld. I'm gonna try to find out who is this threat. Oh brother, it doesn't really exist, you know. It really exists, and they don't normally show their face. They always wear robes to hide their freaky, horrible face. Oh my god, to think that this creature really exists is giving me the creeps. I don't know who is that to protect some people out of this earth from these beings. So, he is chased by those 7 evil devotees of the netherworld, and as he is running, he falls into a river. Near an apple tree on the other bank, he is dragged into the underworld, where everything simultaneously exists and does not exist. Oh my god! So simultaneously exists and does not exist because why? It's all make up imagination from the mind. It's all like some kind of visual world which is just made up by the visual mind, perhaps indicating that they exist in insubstantial or immaterial forms. Oh, the 40 dimension. The 40 dimensions. Akkadian cylinder seal. In Collection of Lamentation for Dumuzid, entitled In the Desert by the Early Grass, describes Tammuz, the dead anointed one, being dragged down to the underworld by demons who blindfold him, tie him up, and forbid him from sleeping. Tammuz's mother tries to follow him into the underworld, poor thing, but Tammuz is now a disembodied spirit, lie in the winds, in the lightnings, and the tornadoes. Oh my gosh! Tammuz's mother is also unable to eat the food or drink the water in the underworld because it is bad. Oh my gosh! Tammuz travels along the road of the underworld and encounters various spirits. He meets the ghost of a small child who tells him that it is lost. The ghost of a singer agrees to accompany the child. Oh my gosh. Tammuz asks the spirits to send a message to his mother, but they cannot because they are dead. And the living cannot hear the dead's voice. That's true. That's very true. Oh my god, poor things. Because they are not allowed because of barriers and boundaries. Unless they come to our dreams, then yes, maybe even that's not easy because they will speak in parables, in a things that words that you don't understand what they are on about. You need to decipher to try to translate what they mean when they talk to you. Tammuz, however, manages to tell his mother to dig up his blood and chop it into pieces. Tammuz's mother gives the congealed, the frozen blood to Tammuz's sister Amashilama, who is a leech. Oh my gosh! Who is a leech? Imagine that, huh? What kind of beings are them? A leech. Amashilama mixes the congealed or frozen blood into a brew of beer, which Tammuz must drink in order to be restored to life. Tammuz, however, realizes that he is dead and declares that he is not in the grass which shall grow for his mother again, nor in the waters which will rise. Oh, this is a metaphor. The mother here could be the earth. The earth mother is cry for the rain, for I don't know, the sun or whatever. Tammuz's mother blesses him, and Amashilama dies to join him in the underworld. She tells him that the day that dawns for you will also dawn for me. The day you see, I shall also see. We all will see one day, referring to the fact that day in the world above is night in the underworld. That day in the world above here, when it's night, morning, here there is night. When it's night, there here is day. Oh my! Day in the world above is night in the underworld. I think of it, there is always night. It's always night. It's the 24 hours straight night, dark, gray, crowded, very like musty, always damp. In the Akkadian epic of Gilgamesh, Tammuz is described as a colorful lalu bird, possibly a European roller, so cute. In the myth of Adapa, Dumuzid, Adapa is Adam. Adapa, Dumuzid and Ningishizida are the two doorkeepers of Anu. The term Anunakis comes from Anu, the king, the father, the big head of the family, the god of the heavens. He is the king, okay, who speaks out in favor of Adapa, the priest of Yah. Yah is Enki, Lucifer, as he stands trial before Anu. What? Why must Adapa stand trial before Anu? First of all, Adapa never asked to be born. So who are you all to blame the innocent? Nobody has to be born. In tablet 6v16 of the standard Akkadian epic of Gilgamesh, Ishtar Inanna attempts to seduce the hero Gilgamesh. Oh my god, son might be a shorty, ugly, and so cheeky, I cannot stand. But he rebuffs her, good for your face, you are very cheap, very good. This is what cheap women deserve. A woman and a man must know their place and have self-dignity and not throw themselves about for just anyone. But he rebuffs her, reminding her that she had struck Tammuz, Dumuzid, the lover of her youth, decreeing that he should keep weeping year after year. She who sent him to the underworld, and now she threw herself to the male. Gilgamesh describes Tammuz as a colorful alalu bird, possibly a European or Indian roller whose wing has been broken and now spends all his time in the woods crying, "My wing, my wing." Oh. Gilgamesh may be referring to an alternative account of Dumuzid's death, different from the ones recorded in extant texts. Extant text? What's this? I don't get what extent. M. Murga has interpreted Dumuzid as the antithesis of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh refuses Ishtar's demand for him, not demand, advice. The word is advice for him to become her lover, seeks immortality and fails to find it. Dumuzid, by contrast, accepts Ishtar's offer, and as a result of her love, is able to spend half the year in heaven, even though he's condemned to the underworld for the other half. Mehmet Ali Atek further argues that the Tammuz model of immortality was far more prevalent in the ancient Near East than the Gilgamesh model, an account of antediluvian generation in Babylonian biblical tradition. I'm not going to the underworld. They will have to cut me into pieces and then just incinerate me and then do away with this carcass at once. Whatever left of me. Because I don't want to stay there. I don't deserve that, and I don't belong there, and I don't allow it. What they gonna do? Kill me again? Kill? So what? William Wolfgang Harlow associates Dumuzid with the composite half man, half counselor, or culture, hero, Apikalu, and Enlilda, and suggests an equivalency between Dumuzid and Enuk and the Sethite genealogy given in Genesis chapter 5. Late worship in the Bible. In Ezekiel, the prophet Ezekiel, shown here in this illustration from Gustave Doré witnesses woman mourn in the death of Tammuz. Oh my God, so dramatic. I mean, in ways, what they are mourning is that because as the damn sun comes there like hell, literally like hell in that continent, and burns everything, then all the crops gone, people starve, some to death, the animals also will starve, and a hot sun is no fun. Many people complain about the snow, complain about the cold, but I hate the sun nevertheless too. I just hate summer. I hate the hot sun, and I hate go above 30 like here where I am. Make me vomit and give me a terrible diarrhea. I have been with a terrible diarrhea these days. Why? The damn sun from 25, from 19 goes up to 25, and then from 25 to 33, 34 above overnight, and I couldn't take it. Too hot for me, too heaty. I started to want to vomit and a diarrhea like 10 times non-stop. I couldn't even go out. I have go somewhere or do some legal documents, in the end I can't even move because of the damned diarrhea. Didn't sleep last night of a terrible pain in the intestine, throbbing, vomiting, all because of the damned sun. I just hate sun. The cult of Ishtar and Tammuz may have been introduced to the kingdom of Judah during the reign of King Manasseh, and the Old Testament contains numerous allusions to them. Tammuz, and also headache, a terrible headache. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat human weeping for Tammuz. Then he said unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see great abominations than this. And you look like you have an orgasm seeing this and doing this. Aren't you so? You look like that you have an orgasm seeing sufferings. So listen of the children and the animals here in this. Not only here, we are still okay compared with those who lives below the earth. We are much better, in a much better condition, and say than those poor things who live there on the whole earth. And there's some idiots there over there who deny the existence of the hollow earth, when it is 100% real. I can attest for it, I can vouch for it, because in 2013 I went there to the hollow earth, and I have seen what look like caves networks. A lot of the cave, there's even a sea. I've seen a sea, but it's not like as bright as here. And I have seen a woman, I don't know what they called her, Snow White, but her skin was very pale, like my skin, like that, pale skin, and her hair was black. It's black, long black hair. She's not like Chinese or the Oriental. She's really like, European race. And she have features, all that. She's slim, a bit like 1.7 meter, 1 meter 70, or more or less 5. I don't know how many inches. 5.6, something like that. 5.6 meter. Not say meter, but 5 inches tall. Feet tall. And she was there, and she saw me and kind of said, do you want to make the rich in life? And I kind of say, who don't want? And then around her a lot of doctors, she say, okay, I can bestow upon you this. But she wants to talk mentally, she wants telepathically. It's not like verbal through her lips. She wants thinking. She wants her words come to my mind. So she said, I can grant you this wish. However, there's a request. Say something. Let's exchange. I say, what? She said, you give me one baby. That means get pregnant and give her, offer for her a baby. So that means I go through 9 months again pregnancy just to give her entire baby. No way. Or she say, if I don't want to get pregnant, I give her my son, who back then he was around 17, 16-year-old. She say, give me your son. I say, no, thanks, bye. And I got away from there because I don't have patience use. Be it you are goddess. I think she is Shita. You can be a goddess, you can be whatever. I don't care. Don't come if you don't say if you need, because I get fed up. Ezekiel's testimony is the only direct mention of Tammuz in the Hebrew Bible, but the cult of Tammuz may also be alluded to Isaiah. Because you has forgotten the God of thy salvation, and has not been mindful of the rock of thy strength. Blah 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 blah. Therefore shall thou plant pleasant plants, and shall set it with strange lips. And the day shalt thou make thy plant to grow, and in the morn shalt thou make the seed to flourish. But the harvest shall be a heap in the day of a grief, and of despair. Go to hell. I have no, I have no patience with all this nonsense. You want to pray for this kind of demon? He's a demon. You are not God, man. If you want to give people punishment, all this, you are not a God. You are a devil. And I tell you more, before you all come here, you already exist my ancestral world in here, and that's it, man. I don't change my mind about it. Okay, you all come from the cosmos, from the bottom of the black hole. You all came from the black hole. All your gods come from the black hole. They come from the bottom of the hell of the black hole, and then they come here to become a big boastful God. Not with me, man. I tell you more, with you or without you, I still live by the grace of the cosmos who has created me. And this cosmos has no gender, has no name. It's nothing. It is the nothingness here. It is the everything. And that's where I come from. And that's it. And after I die, you can do whatever you want to do with this carcass you created, because it doesn't represent what I am in nature. Finish. To me, nobody can. I'm more powerful, and finish. And when you say I'm powerful, it's not about this stupid carcass that I carry. It's more than that. My mind is very powerful. Not say even my mind, my spirit, my neutrons and electrons are very powerful. I'm not talk about this body, I'm not talk about this spirit, whatever. I'm talk about something else, the electrons. The This passage may be describing the miniature gardens that human would plant in honor of Tammuz during his festival. All the non-sacrifices made in the gardens, which may also be connected to the cult of Tammuz. What sacrifice that idiots witches from hell did? The stupid female, I dislike stupid female, makes me want to poke. Another possible allusion to Tammuz occurs in Daniel. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of human. What's the desire of human? To eat, to go shopping? Nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. Yeah, I can see that you are really too much over the top. The subject of this passage is Antiochus. This one is 4 IVs, 4 Epiphanes. And some scholars have interpreted the reference to the one desired by human, by stupid human. And this passage is an indication that Antiochus may have persecuted the cult of Tammuz. There is no external evidence to support this reading, however, and it is much more probable that this epithet is merely a jibe at Antiochus' notorious cruelty towards all the human who fell in love with him. Very good. I love it when this happens to this speech, because they deserve it. Some human, I tell you, they don't have dignity, they don't have self-respect, and they deserve what they have. Because you are treated, human, you are treated the way you want to. Okay? It's you who commands the respect. It's you who says what you want, okay, or what you don't want. No man shall force you to do and be what you are not. If you but put up with that, if all this cruelty, all those abuses and bullies, is because you are an idiot person. Okay, blame you because you don't know how to be strong and intelligent. It all takes intelligence and dignity also, and self-pride and self-resiliency. Some human, unfortunately, they live under the man's shadows. They cannot go to a market without a meal. They cannot stay at home without a meal. Okay, they cannot sleep without a meal. And then later they complain about the treatment they get in the end. Because when you are too stupid, you give your power to third parties. What do you expect? They will take advantage of you. Because you see you as a desperada. You are too desperate. Okay? So blame you as a female. Blame you. The Hebrew Bible also contains references to Tammuz, consort Inanna Ishtar. Jeremiah is it, mentioned the Queen of Heaven, who is probably a syncretism of Inanna Ishtar and the West Semitic goddess Ashtar. The Song of Songs bears strong similarity to the Sumerian love poems involving Inanna and Dumuzid. Some they compare Inanna and Dumuzid. They say they are one single deity, as the like it's shown there in that video which I show on the beginning of this video. It was presented at the video. They say that Inanna and Dumuzid are one and only entity, and that is Lucifer, and also could be Enki, but we never know. Maybe yes, maybe no, because we never know. We don't see these beings. I don't see. Why should I respect them? Why should I trust them when I don't see them? I don't. I see this entity, they run away, from me. in the garden. And the begin they start to run away, run away, run away. At the end they start to come very near my body, very near, inches away from my body. So you never know. You cannot trust them if they run because they hide something. So let's see who is Astash. Of course she's not this beautiful girl. She isn't. She's ugly and a oldie rag. She's not like that at all. You see her face, you run away. It's an oldie rag. You know the myth about the whole oldie rag that come at night to suffocate people. That one, I would say she's more like that brownie. Like, I mean, that's her best avatar that she can come as. However, she is not quite human. She's not human at all. This is a beast. Those are beasts. But whenever they come like this. But the one I see was a white woman. But they can take any kind of avatar they want to. So the Song of Songs bears strong similarities to the Sumerian love poems involving Nana and Dumuzid, particularly in its usage of natural symbolism to protect the lover's physicality. Who is she that looketh forth as the morning, fair as the moon, fair, 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 really? Fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners, is almost certainly a reference to Inanna Ishtar. She's not fair at all. She's not white. Fragment of the article red figure wedding veils showing women climbing ladders up to the roof of the house carrying garlands of Adonis. The myth of Inanna and Dumuzid later became the basis for the Greek mythology myth of Aphrodite and Adonis. The Greek name is Adonis. Greek Adonis is derived from the Canaanite word Adon, meaning Lord. The earliest known Greek reference to Adonis comes from a fragment of poem by the lesbian poet or poetess Sappho, dated to the 17th century BC, in which a chorus of young girls asks Aphrodite that they can do to mourn Adonis' death. Aphrodite replies that they must beat their breasts and tear their tunics. Oh my God, so much drama. That's not me. Cool down. Gonna listen to a rap, just cool down. Just say, I don't wanna know if he died. Please, I don't even want to show. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna know. Later recessions of the Adonis legend reveal that he was believed to have been slain by wild boar during a hunting trip. According to Lucian's the Assyria, each year during the festival of Adonis, the Adonis River in Lebanon, now known as the Abraham River, ran red with blood. Oh my gosh, so much drama. I don't like all this drama, In Greece, the myth of Adonis was associated with the festival of the Adonia, which was celebrated by Greek women every year in midsummer. The festival, Greek woman with the face of a North African. The festival, which was evidently already celebrated in Lesbos by Sappho's time. Lesbos is a Chios in Greece, where have only human who like women, seems to have first become popular in Athens in the mid-5th century BC. At the start of the festival, the human would plant a garden of Adonis, A small garden planted inside a small basket or a shallow piece of broken pottery contains a variety of quick-growing plants. That's beautiful. Such as lettuce and fennel, and even quick-sprouting grains such as wheat and barley. So beautiful. The human would then climb ladders to the roofs of their houses, where they would place the gardens out under the heat of the summer. No way, the plants would sprout in the sunlight, but wither quickly in the heat. Of course, who can take this hell sun, devil sun, this one? Then the human would mourn and lament loudly over the death of Adonis, tearing their clothes and beat their breasts in a public display of grief. The 3rd century, the hot sun and the summer really make me tear off my clothes and then beat my breast in disgust and anger, because people can become very agitated during this hot weather. The 3rd century BC poet Euphorion of Chalcis remarked in his Hyacinth that only Cocytus washed the wounds of Adonis. Surviving the Christian era. Traditional Mesopotamian religion began to gradually decline between the 3rd and 5th centuries AD as ethnic Assyrians converted to Christianity. Nonetheless, the cult of Ishtar and Tammuz managed to survive in parts of Upper Mesopotamia. The church father Jerome records in a letter dated to the year 395 AD, Annus Domini, that Bethlehem, belonging now to us, was overshadowed by a grove of Tammuz, to say Adonis, and in the cave where once the infant Christ cried, the lover of Venus was lamented. This same cave later became the site of the Church of Nativity. Another thing I want to say, that some ignorant people think that Christmas has everything to do with religion, with the Middle East, and with Christianity. No. The culture of the Christian culture actually come from the Nordic. This is a North culture. Okay, is a time when they were pagan, and then they kind of celebrate the winter equinox. All right, it has to do with Russians or Norse or Nordic. It hasn't anything to do with Semitics and Arabs or Christianity or Islam. Nothing to do with Judaism, nothing to do with any of that. Okay? Christmas had another name. It was not Christmas at all. It was another name. It has something to do with the winter solstice. Okay, winter solstice in December, 25th December. Not anything to do with religious. I don't know what this religion nonsense come about. Sunday they incorporated by design on purpose, so as to override the European culture, the original culture of the Europeans. So the church historian Eusebius, however, does not mention, because I'm here, I don't like nonsense, I don't like lies, I don't like perfidy, I don't like sabotage, I don't like it. I don't like bad characterism in people who have bad character, who join in groups, do all this kind of thing. I don't like, have to expose. So however, does not mention pagans having ever worshipped in the cave, nor do any other early Christian writers. Peter Wilson has argued that the cave was never dedicated to Tammuz, and that Jerome misinterpreted Christian mourning over the massacre of the innocents as a pagan rituals over Tammuz death. Massacre of the innocents. John E. Taylor has countered this contention by arguing that Jerome, as an educated man, could not have been so naive as to mistake Christian mourning over the massacre of the innocents as a pagan rituals for Tammuz. I don't know. During the 6th century AD, some early Christians in the Middle East borrowed the elements from poems of Ishtar mourning over the death of Tammuz, and their own retellings of the Virgin Mary mourning over the death of her son Jesus. Yeah, they twisting, isn't it? You all twist. You all make your way. Jesus become a white guy, blue-eyed, like a Greek man, when in reality that dude is not even, his avatar is not even like that. He's more like an Arabic or North African man. Okay, he's more like a North African, because I've seen many times since 1975. The Syrian writers Jacob of Serug and Romans the melodist both wrote laments in which the Virgin Mary describes her compassion for her son at the foot of the cross, deeply personal terms closely resembling Ishtar laments over the death of Tammuz. The cult of Tammuz was still thriving over the city of Haran in the 10th and 11th centuries. Tammuz is the month of July in Iraq, Arabic, and Levantine Arabic. Jesus is like that, North African man, same skin color, like pardo, like this, so yellowish. The hair is dark, dry, very like, how to say, coarse, beard. That's the avatar he like. So, Assyrian calendar and Jewish calendar is referring to Tammuz appear in Arabic literature from the 9th to the 11th centuries AD, and what purports to be a translation of an ancient Nabataean, here Arabic Nabataean writes in Aramaic, Nabataean Arabic Nabataeans, text by Kitan. So, adds information his own efforts to ascertain the deity of Tammuz and his discovery of the full details of the legend of Tammuz in another Nabataean book. How he summoned the king to worship the 7 planets and the 12 signs, and how the king put him to death several times in a cruel manner. Tammuz is coming to life again after each time, until at last he died. Like he's talking about Jesus. And behold, it was identical to the legend of Saint George. Ibn Washia also adds that Tammuz lived in Babylonia before the coming of the Chaldeans, and belonged to the ancient Mesopotamian tribe called Ganban, something like that. On rituals related to Tammuz and his tribe, he adds that the Sabaeans and Haran and Babylonia still lamented the loss of Tammuz every July, but that the origin of the worship has been lost. In the 10th century AD, the Arabic traveler Al-Nadim wrote in his Kitab al-Fares that all the Sabaeans of our time, those of Babylon as well as those of Haran, lament and weep to this day over Tammuz, the festival which they, more particularly the human, hold in the month of the same name, drawing from a work on Syriac calendar feast days. Al-Nadim describes a Tammuz festival that took place in the middle of the month of Tammuz. Human bewailed the death of Tammuz at the hands of his masters, who say to have ground his bones in a mill and scattered them to the wind. What? What? It may have some other meaning, like be they take the fruit and then put in the doocy kind of a grinder, and then they grind the bone, and then not the bone, the fruit, and take the seed and scatter it. Consequently, human would forego the eating of ground foods during the festival time. The same festival is mentioned in the 11th century by Ate, who recounts that it still took place every year at the appointed time along the banks of the Tigris River. The cult of Shitar in Tammuz still existed in Mardin as late in the 18th century. Tammuz is still the name for the month of July in Iraq Arabic, as a die in the rising god. The late 19th century Scottish anthropologist Sir James George Fraser wrote extensively about Tammuz and his monument to Study of Comparative Religion, The Golden Bough, the first edition of which was published in 1890. As well as the later works, Fraser claimed that Tammuz was just one example of the archetype of a dying and rising god. Does it ring a bell? Who died on the cross and then come to life again? Found through all cultures, Fraser and others also saw Tammuz, Greek equivalent Adonis, as a dying and rising god. Origen discusses Adonis, who he associates with Tammuz, and he selected in Ezekiel comments on Ezekiel, noting that they say that for a long time certain rites of initiation are conducted. First, that they weep for him, since he has died. Second, that they rejoice for him because he has risen from the dead. Upon Necrum Anastanti. Tammuz categorization as a dying rising god was based on the abbreviated Akkadian redaction of Inanna's descent into the underworld was missing the ending, since numerous lamentations over the death of Dumuzid has already been translated. The scholar filled in the missing ending by assuming that the reason for Ishtar's descent was because she was going to resurrect Dumuzid, and that the text could therefore be assumed to end with Tammuz's resurrection. Then, in the middle of the 20th century, the complete unabridged original Sumerian text of Inanna's descent was finally translated, revealing that instead of ending with Dumuzid's resurrection as it had been assumed, the text actually ended with Dumuzid's death. The rescue of Dumuzid from the underworld was later found in the text Return of Dumuzid, translated in 1963. Biblical scholars, poet and Greg Boyd, argued in 2007 that this text does not describe a triumph over death because Dumuzid must be replaced in the underworld by his sister, thus reinforcing the inalterable power of the realm of the dead. However, the scholar has cited this as an example of a god once previously dead and risen again. Oh, brother! Hear him on the underworld, and he's an angel. I mean, he's an Anunaki. The references to the cult of Tammuz preserved in the Bible and Greco-Roman literature brought the story to the attention of Western European writers. The story is popular in early modern England and appeared in a variety of works, including Sir Walter's Relays, his story of the Word, and Charles Stephen's Dictionarium Historicum. These have all been suggested as source for Tammuz, most famous appearance in English literature as a demon in Book 1 of John Milton's Paradise Lost. Tammuz comes next to Bahid, whose annual wander in Lebanon allured the Syrians themselves to lament his fate. An amorous ditches all summer days, while smooth Adonis from his native rock ran purple to the sea, supposed with blood. Of Tammuz yearly wandered the love tale infected Sion's daughters with the light heat. Ooh! Whose wanton patience in the sacred porch Ezekiel saw when by the vision lit his eyes surveyed the dark idolatries of alienated Judah. Oscar Wilde Kermat. And then each pigeon spread its milky van. The bright car soared into the dawning sky, and like a cloud, the aerial caravan passed over the Aegean silently, till the faint air was troubled with the song from the wind mouthed the call on bleeding Tammuz all night long. So from Nisar and Nihursag Enki born to Nama, so Utu Nikura, son of Enki. They say Nergal is the son of named Enlil. So who is right? Ningal, maybe daughter of Enlil? Maybe, so you're not sure. Enlil Inanna, possibly also daughter of Enki. Of Enlil, Enki of Enlil, or of En. Inanna, I think she's the daughter of Enlil, but she have a cave with her own uncle who is Enki. Dumuzid, maybe son of Enki. Maybe. Baba born to Uras. Ushu, Kigal married Nego. So we never know the truth actually. This is just the suppositions, and we don't truly know what's transpired between the veil, and maybe this being, sometimes I believe that it is a single being that has split itself and many parts of itself to become a father, a grandfather, grandchildren, etc. So next, going to another son of Enki.